If you're a first-time home buyer in Canada, there are so many benefits and programs that can help you to get your first home. In this video, I will explain every benefits and program that is available out today that can benefit you. Now, when it comes to benefit, there are three different levels. The first is a federal level, provincial level, and municipal level. Federal level means all over Canada. Provincial level means province-wise. That could be Ontario, British Columbia, or Alberta. And municipal level means on a general municipality levels where the city comes in and provides some benefits to first-time home buyers. So let's deep dive into all the benefits available out there. Hello everyone, my name is Parth Soni. I'm a realtor based in Ontario. I help first-time home buyers and investors to get into real estate. So make sure you watch the whole video and take advantage of all this benefit. So the very first one we have is a home buyer plan, which is very readily available, and most of the people also call this as an RRSP benefits. So it essentially allows home buyer to withdraw funds from their RRSP to purchase or build a qualified home. Now, as of right now, the individual limit is $60,000. It used to be $35,000 before April of 2024, but they have increased it to $60,000, which is really great on individual basis. And if you are a couple, you can contribute $120,000, that is $60,000 individual. Now, in terms of criteria, there are some basic criteria. It says it's for first-time home buyers, so definitely you have to be a first-time home buyer. That means you have not owned a property in last 4 years anywhere in the world. The second one is that you must have a written agreement from a builder or from someone from whom you are buying a house. And the home must be intended to for a primary residence within 1 year of the purchase. So basically, you cannot use this money for investment purpose, or it has to be your first home. This is very important. Most people don't know about this, that the RRSP contribution must be in the account for at least 90 days before withdrawal. So let's say if your closing date is coming soon, if you don't have money that within 90-day period, then you cannot withdraw that. Of course, you can withdraw that, but there will be no benefit to it. The tax, you have to pay tax on it. But if you keep that money for at least 90 days in that account and withdraw after that, then you will not have to pay taxes when you incur that. Now, as you get this money from your future self, that is from your RRSP, so you have to pay it back within a certain amount of time, and that period is 15 years. It's very typical each year, the repay will at least 1 divided by 15, so whatever that comes down to, you have to pay that amount of money each and every year after your withdrawal. And the repayment starts of the second year of your withdrawal. So let's say you buy a house in 2025, then the repayment will not start in 2025, it will be 2026. And here's very important thing, if you don't pay that repayment every year, then the amount or the portion of that would be included in your taxable income. The reason I like this plan is because sometimes employers do contribute to your RRSP depending on the employer. Not many employers do that, but if they do that, it's a really good plan and take maximum use of it. The other one on the list, we have FHSA, that is also called as First Home Saving Account. Now, this is my personal favorite out there. It also helps you as a first-time home buyer to qualify for a home or purchase for a home. And it's kind of combination for a feature of RRSP and TFSA. So again, the annual limit is on this one is up to $8,000 and the lifetime is $40,000 max. So you cannot contribute more than that. $40,000 is the maximum limit regardless of the year you do. But here's a really nice thing, it's a carry forward limit. So let's say even though if you're not planning to buy a house until 2027 or 2028, if you just open this account, this will help you a limit of that $8,000 and each year you can carry forward that. So to give you an example, if I'm planning to buy a house in 2027, I don't have any funds available right now, but if I open the account in 2025, that $8,000 limit of 2025 will still I will still have it. And let's say in 2026 I got a good job and a salary increased and everything, then I can have a room for $8,000 of 2025 and $8,000 of 2026, so it's $16,000. Basically, you can carry forward this. And it also comes with the tax advantages. So basically, any contribution you do is a tax deductible, reducing your taxable income. Same with RRSP. It also has an investment growth. So let's say if I put $8,000 in stocks through my FHSA account and that grows to $10,000, then the $2,000 benefit, I don't have to pay any tax on it. It's my own pure profit, no tax on it, which is a really nice thing. So if you plan it strategically and if you don't have any plan to buy a house within 2 or 3 years, you can take a really good advantage of this. And again, as withdrawal, it's tax-free when you used for your qualified home purchase. Now, those two benefits we just discussed are on a federal level, so anywhere in Canada, you can use those benefits. And again, if you are someone who's looking to get into a housing market, I have provided a detailed guide over here which shows you a step-by-step process of how to buy your first house. The next on the list we have is the first-time home buyer tax credit. So this is a one-time credit. It's a $10,000 non-refundable income tax credit. So most of the time people do confuse, they will get $10,000 in return, but that's not the thing. It is a $10,000 non-refundable income tax credit. So what it means by that, let's say if you are earning $90,000 as your salary, then out of that, when you pay tax, this $10,000 will apply when you buy a house. So your salary, your taxable salary will come at $80,000. So this $10,000 will translate roughly about $1,500 in return. So that's the maximum you can. Now claiming this credit is very simple. Let's say if you buy a house in 2025, you can claim this amount in 2026 when you are paying your taxes. Make sure your accountant know about this and let them know so they can check off the box. And when you are doing it yourself, you can do it by putting in a line 31270 and put $10,000 in income tax return. One more thing to know about this, if you're purchasing this house jointly, then the claim by you and your spouse cannot exceed $10,000. So it's not $10,000 for each member, it's a combined one. And also one more thing, neither you nor your spouse or a common in-law partner or whoever your partner you are purchasing with must not own a property in last 4 years. And there are some special considerations as well, like individual eligible for disability tax credit can claim HBTC even if they are not first-time home buyer. So if you are someone on disability credit, then you can, and if you are not first-time home buyer, you can still eligible for this one, provided that the home is more accessible and better suited for your needs. And one more thing over here, the credit is non-refundable, meaning it can reduce your tax payable to zero, but it will not result into refund. So what I mean by that, the $1,500 we discussed is, let's say after doing everything, after doing your tax calculation, the amount you owe is $1,000 to CRA. But in this one, because you are a first-time home buyer and check that box, the amount you will be getting is $1,500. So you will not get $500 back. Maximum you will get, the amount will be nil, but you will not get $500 back in this case. The next tax credit we have is a land transfer tax credit, which is again really superb incentive from government over here. So what it is essentially is that when you buy a home, you get a $4,000 as a first-time home buyer, and you, again, it's same. It's for primary residence, so it has to be a primary residence, and you must occupy that property within 9 months of your purchase. And same goes with first-time home buyer, so you must not own any other property or interest anywhere in the world. Now, in terms of refund, at the time of the closing, your lawyer will help you out with this one. The one thing which I like about this, you don't have to go or wait for anything like that. It will be applied very immediately as soon as the closing happens. And by some reason, if it's not done by your lawyer or something happened, then you will have 18 months and you can go to Ministry of Finance to do this kind of credit. And one more thing you need to know, when you buy a property in Toronto, you have to pay municipal tax, which is much higher than any other municipalities over here. Most of the municipalities don't have tax over here, but in Toronto, you have to pay that. That's why they are providing one more or additional tax benefit that is on top of $4,000. You can have $4,475 as well. So total of $8,475 tax credit, that is a land transfer tax credit when you purchase a property in Toronto. And in terms of refund and application, it goes same, like nothing change in that. In terms of Ministry of Finance, you might have to go to City of Toronto to claim that credit if it's not done at the time of closing. And there are few other incentives as well, which is called first-time home buyer incentives. The reason why I'm not included in this one over here, it's still mentioned, but when I was recording this video, that is of February of 2025, on the government website, it is not available. It mentioned that they are not taking any applications as of right now, but what it essentially was, it's a shared equity program. So let's say you pay 5% down payment, the government will match, the government will pay 5% down payment, so the total down payment will be 10%, and that helps you to lower your monthly mortgage. But what happens over here in a shared equity is that the government will also take some, that's whatever they contributed, like 5% of that equity in your house as well. So when you're planning to sell that house, that 5% remains. So if you bought a house for $500,000 and when you sell that house, the house value comes at $700,000, then the 5% will be on $700,000 rather than on $500,000. So that's a higher number. And to be honest, none of my first-time home buyers were eligible for this one. There are so many criteria out there in terms of the purchase price plus the salary that you are having, and especially in Kitchener-Waterloo and Toronto, not many people will qualify for those kind of house based on the house prices we have over. The next one we have is the GST HST rebate. So basically, when you buy a brand new house, that's where this rebates comes in. So it's eligible on new homes and substantially renovated homes. So let's say if you buy a house and you renovated over 90% of it, then you can eligible for this kind of rebates. And that is up to $24,000. But what happened in this one, when you buy a new house, most of the time builder include this kind of rebates in your purchase price. So make sure, let's say if you're buying a $600,000 house, ask your builder whether this rebate is included in or not. Most of my clients have this rebate included in it, and if you're purchasing in Ontario, it's highly likely it will be included in the rebate. So you do, I mean, it's there, but it's not there as well. And those are all the rebates for you. And if you're someone who's looking to get into housing market, let me know. And if you like this video, please do make sure you subscribe and like and share. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.